Tonight we are going to work on estimating sums and differences of whole numbers. Let's begin with the study jams.
Me and my friends have pretty impressive baseball card collections. I'm kind of curious to know whether I've got enough to beat all of their collections combined. We can estimate the total number of their baseball cards, taking it step by step.
That's a little loud.
First, let's round each number. Since all these numbers are over 100, we'll round each number to the nearest 100.
Ooh, did you see what they did? They noticed that all of the numbers are in the hundreds, so they're going to round to the nearest 100.
For instance, we'll round Scott's 116 cards down to 100, because that's the closest 100. Remember, the closest 100 may be higher than the number, like when we rounded Joe's 174 up to 200. Time to add it up. With such round numbers, it's easy to estimate that my friends have about 400 cards. At 513 cards, my collection is definitely bigger. Oh, yeah!
Now let's look at another example. Specifically, we're going to practice the sum, but we're also going to look at how you round when there's a difference or when you're subtracting.
How can you estimate sums and differences of whole numbers? Think about this question during the lesson. Can you think of a situation where an estimate may be preferable to an exact answer? An example of when an estimate would be preferable to an exact answer is when you need to decide how many packages to buy when items are sold in certain quantities. The Empire State Building was completed in 1931. From ground to tip, it measures 1,250 feet. At the top of the building is a lightning rod which measures 204 feet. Estimate the total height of the structure. How can place value help you estimate the total height of the Empire State Building? Place value helps you determine whether to round to the nearest 10, 100, or 1,000. First, organize the numbers in columns. The number 1,250 has 4 digits, and the number 204 has 3 digits, so you will round to the hundredths place.
This is an important thing to remember. When you look here, I have a thousands and I have a hundreds place. So since one of them's in the hundreds place, we're going to round to the hundreds place.
1,250 rounded to the nearest hundred is 1,300. 204 rounded to the nearest hundred is 200. Add the rounded heights to find the approximate or estimated height. The estimated total height of the structure is about 1,500 feet. The answer is reasonable because the total height is greater than the height of the Empire State Building. The Washington Monument was completed in 1884. About how many years after was the Empire State Building completed?
Pay very close attention to this part. When we are discussing differences or subtracting, we need to make sure we follow some specific rules about rounding.
What are 1,931 and 1,884 rounded to the nearest 10?
Did you notice we rounded to the nearest 10 even though we are already in the thousands and in the hundreds? We're going to round to the nearest 10.
1,931 rounded to the nearest 10 is 1,930. 1,884 rounded to the nearest 10 is 1,880. Subtract the rounded dates to find the approximate difference in dates. The Empire State Building was completed about 50 years later than the Washington Monument.
Do you notice this word about? The word about is what you see when you are estimating. It's not exact, but it's about.
How would rounding 1931 and 1884 to the nearest hundreds place change the usefulness of the estimate?
This is why I told you to pay close attention when we are subtracting with a difference.
The estimated answer would be 0. 0 is not a good estimate of the time difference between the completion of the Empire State Building and the Washington Monument. To get a reasonable result, the numbers must be rounded to the nearest 10. Try it yourself. Compare the years Illinois, 1818, and Wyoming, 1890, acquired statehood.
So now your challenge is to try subtracting the difference between Wyoming of 1890 and 1818. I'd like to know the exact and your estimated. And if you remember, round to the nearest 10. If you get it wrong, it's okay. I just want to see that you tried. Go for it.